Survival in an ocean-only world isn't impossible, but some days, it sure feels like it. This was one of those days. They say the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. If we see the failures in our path, we may not even try. Instead, we work by faith in the hope of what's to come, forever marching forward until our work is done. Welcome to Stranded. If this island has taught me one thing, it's perseverance. There have been so many times where things looked hopeless, but I pushed on in spite of it. Today was going to turn out to be one of those days. I just didn't know it yet. Our little green island across the way is a bit of a miracle in a world that shouldn't even have any grass at all. So I figured it's time to share that good fortune and bring a little bit of that life back to where our home is at. So why is this a priority now? Well, honestly, it really isn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really want to do this because I really want to get some grass over to the home island because it would totally change the look of it. But I'm also very good at procrastinating because I know what I really need to do. You see, way up there, 180 blocks up in the sky, I've got a couple of zombie villagers waiting to be saved. And I know I can do it. I've done it before. But I also know how hard it's going to be. And the odds of making it out alive, well, not great. Now, it might sound like I'm not in a hurry to get the villagers down here, but I am. I very much want them here. And I want them to have a safe place to land once they get here. So I figured I would at least start marking out where their house is going to go. It's the kind of work that reminds me why I'm doing this in the first place. For me, this is everything that is going to make this feel like home. It's someone to share things with, someone to interact with, and it's something that continues to give me not only hope, but also a purpose. Because everyone needs purpose. Otherwise, what's the point? So at this point, we are in a bit of a waiting game with the copper blocks. I'm continuing to wait for them to oxidize and build up enough inventory to complete the villager house. But the villagers aren't the only ones in need of shelter. Part of the reason that I even built this platform in the first place was to get some animals to spawn. And when they finally did, I was absolutely thrilled. But I've left them in an open pen long enough. I think they deserve a proper barn with walls and a roof, something to shield them from the elements. And for that, we are going to need a lot of oak wood, courtesy of our one and only type of sapling, our azalea trees. And to get that oak wood, we are going to need a lot of bone meal. So we are going to have to make a quick trip up to the mob grinder to grab some of those bones so that we can make some bone meal from them. It sounds like the welcoming committee is on duty today. Oh, didn't see that one coming. We've got another zombie villager in there, and while I don't think we necessarily need them, it would not hurt to have an extra as a backup plan. Not that anything would ever go wrong. No. All right, hopefully we can do this. We do not have a lot of room to work with because, well, we've already got our witch and our other two villagers taking up space. But I think we can figure this out. So we are going to need to extend a roof over here so that nobody burns up in the daylight. That would not be good. All right, so we just need to place down a boat for him to get trapped in and leave it sticking out far enough so that he will actually get trapped, and I think that'll work. And then we just need to whack away at some ankles until the last one standing is our zombie villager. All right, one more easy. Ugh, there we go. All right, all that's left to do is to do it, so hopefully we will get him safely in that boat. All right, and since we do not have side access anymore, we will just let him out the front here and lead him over to the boat. All right, we got this. Yes, it worked. Fantastic. Now I just have to get back over there safely. Well, we're a little bit cramped, but we are making it work. So while I'm here, I might as well open this back up again so that everybody can... Have you ever had that moment where you lock your keys in the house, and the second the door clicks shut, you realize exactly what you've done? Yeah, this is that moment for me. Well, I did manage to get the bones. And pretty much everything else in the chest. Whether I wanted it or not. Little did I realize at the time that this was actually only the first in a series of unfortunate events that were about to unfold. Now, luckily at the time, in isolation, this really wasn't that big of a deal. But I suppose if I knew what was still yet to come, well, I might have had a different opinion. But at least for now, everyone was okay. Except for my nerves. My nerves are a little bit shot. Well, after that little mishap, I was ready for something quieter. And less explosive. Ooh, our grass is actually starting to make its way over there. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. But anyway, I figured this is probably the perfect time to gather oak for the barn. No mobs, no explosions, just trees to chop, and some peace. Well, for now at least. I wonder, can I bunch these up like you can with other trees? Ooh, you can. That would probably make it quite a bit easier. All right. Ooh, first try. Ooh, I almost got them all on the first try. I will say that azalea trees are not the worst trees in the world to cut down. I mean, granted, you don't get a ton of wood from them, but at least you don't have to pillar up in order to reach the very top of the tree. I didn't want the barn to feel cramped, so I decided to extend the island back just a little bit more, give it a little bit more elbow room. That's kind of how this island seems to grow. Tiny steps that add up when you're not really paying attention. And luckily for me, the building inspector stopped by. We got the oink of approval. So now it is time to start laying out where exactly the barn is going to go. Now, it's hard enough for me to make a decision on where to build things. I kind of have this horrible habit of not exactly realizing the best placement for things until after I've already built it and it's too late. But another consideration here is that not only do we have to worry about where the barn's going to go, but we also have to worry about how to move all those animals over as well. Our new barn does intersect where the pens currently are, so we are going to have to figure that out relatively soon. Stripping wood is so satisfying. And it looks like it's already time to move our first volunteer over. Luckily, it didn't take too much convincing. He seemed pretty happy that he was going to be getting an upgrade. I'm just putting a temporary wall here until I can grab the fence from the old pen. I mean, waste not, want not, am I right? Since that move went relatively easily and the pens are going to be in the way of our new build, I decided it was time to move the rest of the gang over as well. Next up, the roof. My least favorite part of any build. It's 50% place a block, 50% step back and judge it. Meanwhile, this cow, totally judging me. So from there, I pretty much followed the same pattern, just tried to figure out which slope looked right, and then it's kind of like color by number after that. You just kind of paint inside the lines. Now, I do plan on making the sides of the barn out of netherrack because, well, in my world, barns are red. But for now, I'm just going to put just enough netherrack in there just to give us a little tease of what's to come, because I also want to use another rack for the villager house, and I kind of want to give that a little bit of priority and make sure we have enough for that first. And after that will just be the ongoing job of adding details here and there. And hopefully none of the animals have OCD because I could not get the trapdoors to face the same direction. Now that the basic outline of the barn is complete, it seems only fitting to add a small little wheat field next to it. It's just a modest start, but that's also how our island started. And now it's starting to come alive. Now that one corner of the island has a bit of a pulse, it's time to spread that out even more and start building the villager house next to it. Now, I realize that these blocks look like they came from 3 different houses in a bad dream, but they were the most colorful blocks I had, and I was determined to use them. They are going into this build whether they like each other or not. At this point, I think we've used almost every block in our arsenal. Well, almost. There's one that we're still missing. The piece that makes the house feel like a home. For that, I need clay. And then it's back to the house and into the furnace. Clay, heat, bricks, patience. Eventually, all turns into a chimney. Just a little symbol of comfort for some villagers who deserve a little peace. And if they're ever going to have that peace, well, we have to cure them first. Otherwise, none of this matters. And finally, I laid a path. Barn to house, house to bridge. Paths are kind of like stitches. They pull a place together, turning separate spots into one common place. A bit of lighting, a gentle curve, and suddenly, the island reads left to right like a sentence. But there is still one part of this story still waiting to be written. So at this moment, we are not quite ready to write our chapter of the story because we are going to take a few safety precautions. I figured it would be a good idea because this is actually a very dangerous mission of sorts, and there's a very, very good chance that we will not come out of it alive at least a couple of times. It's a possibility. So I figured we would set up a little safety platform down here where we can place a bed so that we can set our spawn point. So that way, if the worst possible scenario does happen, we will just respawn right here and be ready to get right back in the thick of things. I will patch up that painful reminder. And from this point, you know what? I think I'm going to set up a chest so that we can store our goodies in there. Don't want to lose anything too valuable. And if we need a resupply of anything, everything will be in one convenient location. I like to do this anytime I'm in a scenario where I fear the worst. It's not that we don't have hope for the best, but it always pays to prepare. All right, I just want to extra prepare just in case anybody gets out, things go haywire, whatever. I just don't want... Oh, really? Seriously? I guess we get an appetizer as to what to expect for this evening. Lovely. Anyway, yeah. Just over-preparing a bit. Getting all our pieces lined up, making sure that everything is as ready as it possibly can be. And in fact, I think I probably want to move this guy back a little bit more. Oh, I think I can get in the boat with him. Whoa, hold on, let me even get my health up. But we're going to take a slight beating here, but I think we can do it. All right. I don't think we could be any more prepared than what we are, except for the fact that I did actually forget the golden apples, so I do have to run back to get those. For some reason, at this moment, the reality of our situation is actually starting to sink in a little bit. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm nervous. I'm not nervous, but the anticipation is definitely building. I mean, pretty much from this moment forward, this is when it gets real. The platform is as ready as it's going to be. As I make my way back over, I start to go through the entire process in my head, envisioning every move, where I'm going to stand, what I'm going to do. I know the poison's gonna hurt, but if I play it smart and I take a step back and let myself recover, it's gonna be okay. I just keep going over and over the scenarios in my head, never realizing that the true danger was just about to unfold, and it was due to one careless error. The safety platform that we put together when it was still light out, we never put torches on it. And now, I'm about to pay the price. What on earth was that? I didn't have the spawner open. I didn't light the platform. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I'm so lucky I didn't. Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered if I fell off because I would have landed in water, but oh, I'm still lucky to be alive because he could have blown me up, and I don't even have enough blocks to reach the top. Are you kidding me? I get what I deserve. If only I knew that wasn't the end of what I deserve. Back home for supplies once again. And yes, I went the wrong way. All right, the main things I need are a new bed and some building blocks. That way we can get back up to where we need and get ourselves a little safety spot once again. This time, properly lit up. Well, you know, what can I say? Setbacks are just a part of life. Out here, sometimes they just seem like they show up a little bit louder. Either bad timing, a misstep, something obvious overlooked. It happens. I'm not pretending that it doesn't rattle me, it does. But I've learned not to treat a mistake like a verdict. It's just a little footnote in the bigger story. And the story isn't in the failures, the story is in the perseverance. I told you earlier that is one thing that this island has taught me, and I have a feeling it will continue to teach me that lesson time and time again. Okay, we need to collect ourselves. I think I'm gonna clean up the mess in the spawner just to clear my head for a second. And then we are going to dig in. And we are going to get those villagers cured, hopefully, if all goes according to plan. But the way our track record's going, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. All right, the moment of reckoning has arrived. Ooh, and the ominous thunder. Oh, and a potion right off the bat. Good grief. Holy cow. All right, well, this witch is really ready to fight. Now, I know that I have to be like under 8 hearts for the witch to be able to throw the weakness potion. I'm just not sure how low is too low. Now, I've said it plenty of times. I knew that there was an imminent threat of death going into this, and I was willing to give up my life in order to save the villagers. I did everything I could think of to prepare for this moment. I ran through all the scenarios, making sure I had things ready to go. But there was one thing that I wasn't prepared for. I made one crucial mistake. I lost the apples. I should have kept them safe while I worked on getting the weakness potion first. Now I was in pure panic mode and started to act without thinking, desperately running in again and again, trying to save them. But I was so blinded with panic, I didn't even know where the apples actually were. I just kept frantically running in and looking around as quickly as I could, but I couldn't even get far. I could barely take a couple of steps before the villagers ended me with my own weapons. I didn't even have my armor at this point. They took that too. I had virtually nothing. This whole time I was racing the clock trying to get those apples back. But soon, I had to admit that time had run out. I let the villagers down. I let myself down. And in that moment, I realized this story just got completely rewritten.